Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. This is Angie Rodriguez, your District 39 Director. And tonight, my topic will be Pathways Pointers. These are pointers about the new updates that happened after October 22nd in Pathways. And hopefully, they will help you navigate around and show you what the layout is of Pathways now, how it looks different, and some helpful hints on keeping track of where you're at in your path and how to navigate around. So let's get started. I've already logged into Toastmasters International and I've chosen to go to Basecamp. So what you're looking at on the screen now is the Pathways Learning Dashboard. Just a couple of notes here on this screen. Anytime you click the Toastmasters Pathways logo up in the top left-hand corner, that's going to take you back to the Learning Dashboard. So here we are again at the dashboard, where you'll see Welcome to Basecamp and your name. Over on the top right-hand side, we are in the dashboard. If you are a club officer in your club, you have access to the Basecamp Manager. We have a little notification bell now. If you get feedback from one of your fellow club members, or if you are sent an evaluation form, you're going to get a notification. There'll be a little red dot above that bell that tells you there's something in there. Someone has sent you a message. Let's see who sent me something. Sam needed a level approved, so I went ahead and did that. Next to the bell, you'll see your name and a little profile picture with a drop-down arrow. And in this box, you can go to your profile. You can send or receive requests. You can go to your clubs, which will show you a roster of all your club members. This is the quickest way to get back to your Toastmasters home, which is Toastmasters International. It takes you out of Pathways and back to Toastmasters International by clicking on Toastmasters Home, and you can also sign out from this profile box. Then you have 4 menu buttons at the top of this screen. Paths and Learning, that's where all your learning takes place. It's where your path lives. It is the default view when you come into the Learning Dashboard. It will always default to Paths and Learning. Next to that is your achievements. This is going to show you when you've completed levels. Feedback is next. If you've received feedback from a member, you can give feedback to a member, or you can request feedback from a member. And then finally, resources. That's going to be where you can look up evaluation forms for all the projects, or you can store your evaluation forms in Pathways. We're not going to cover those 3 buttons tonight. That'll be a separate video. We're ready to go to our path and learn something about Pathways. So I've clicked on Engaging Humor. If you are a new member, and this is the first time you've opened up your path, you're not going to see a lot of detail. That's okay. I'm going to show you how it's laid out. So this is about what you see when you first open up the path. You see 5 levels. You actually won't even have a resume button up here. That doesn't appear until you actually start reading through your levels and your projects in your path. You can expand all of these little caret keys. And when you expand all of them, it's going to show you the detail of what's in each level. Before we get there, though, I want to show you the layout of this page. Over here on the left-hand side, underneath where it says Engaging Humor and Overview, this section is what I would call the table of contents. Pathways is just like a book, just like the old manuals we used to have where we read a project in a manual, read through the book, and then complete the project. This is our book on the computer. The overview section is the table of contents. On the right-hand side and middle of the page, this is going to be the pages of our book where we get more detail and we read through more of the detail. I'm going to open up level 1 caret now. And now you can see what's in level 1. We've got Mastering Fundamentals. The Icebreaker is a project. Writing a Speech with Purpose is a project. Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language is a project, and Evaluation and Feedback is a project. You could consider the level 1 completion also a project because you do have to do that in order to tell the computer and your Vice President of Education that you've completed level 1. Now you'll notice that I have little green check marks next to 3 of my projects. That means I've completed those projects. Also, over in the pages of our book, we can place a bookmark. If I wanted to save the area where I was the last time I logged in, I could bookmark it. If I read something within the project that I thought was really useful and I want to save that and know where it's at, I can bookmark it. You notice there's still nothing in our table of contents yet, though. So let's click on the first link, which is Mastering Fundamentals. This section is new to Pathways as of the update of October 22nd. You will have a section like this in every single level, and this section refers to the level, not to individual projects, but it refers to the entire level. You notice, look what happened. I now have things in my table of contents on the left-hand side. Highlighted is the level 1 requirements. That's the page I'm looking at right now in the detail part of the book. It tells me a little paragraph about Mastering Fundamentals, about this level and what it's all about. I scroll down and I have the resources that are available to me in this level. I scroll down a little farther and I have the required projects in this level. Icebreaker speaker, writing a speech with purpose speaker, vocal variety speaker, evaluation and feedback speaker. This evaluation and feedback project is actually 2 speeches and an evaluation, but you'll learn that later. Finally, I scroll down a little farther and it comes to the required meeting roles. So in level 1, somewhere within that level, you are required to be a table topic speaker. Make a note, if you're a brand new member, you should be that table topic speaker before you deliver your icebreaker speech. Then, of course, you have your speaking roles. I mentioned you will be an evaluator in the 4th project, and you now have to complete one of these 2 meeting roles, either the timer or the odd counter. So this is telling you what is required in level 1. I could hit the next button at the bottom of the page, or I could simply go back over to my table of contents, highlight checklist and completion, and click on it. And now it will open up the checklist and completion page where it tells you exactly what needs to be done in all of level 1 in order to complete this level. You can see I've already checked off the table topic speaker, and I've already checked off the timer or odd counter. So I still have to do the remaining projects. Every single level has a summary page like I just showed you, the requirements and the checklist. The checklist will have different projects, of course. The requirements will have different meeting roles and different required projects. You simply have to go into each different level, each different project, and read through it and see what is required of you in your path and in your levels. So that's our summary for tonight, how it's laid out and how you keep track of where you're at. You use a table of contents, match it to what's in your detail page, and you should be able to stay on track in your path. Thank you very much.